Welcome back to another edition of the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. Another great week of Elizabethton Cyclone football. And by the way, based on last week, remember, his name is spelled S-H-A-W-N. If you didn't see last week's show, you need to go back and watch it. That was one for the ages. And, of course, we've got a brand new location to see this show. All you have to do now is simply go to TomTaylorSports.com, and we'll have a running list of all the things we do on Tom Taylor Sports, including this show. Is clicking on there will be. And, of course, we have a new show every Wednesday at noon, and another show coming up, this one, of course, this week, about a big win, Coach, last week against a very stubborn, very pesky Daniel Boone football team. We were talking before we went on air, and probably one of the best over teams in the region. They've had some tough luck, but, man, they played you guys tough.
It was a tough contest, Tom, and our kids really refocused and, came out and really executed the game plan. It was a close game all the way through, but I really thought our kids, our mentality, our focus, our discipline, we played like a true Elizabethton Cyclone football team.
Gritty.
It was. It was both teams running the football, both teams trying to establish their identity early. I really liked the way that we came out and really just spread the football around, and we were able to run it in, throw it with mixture. I thought our quarterback got off to a good start, trying to get him involved early, and our defense was a resilient bunch. I mean, they really tried to shorten the game, snapping to Gabe Sanders, and they ran it into the boundary quite a bit, but our defense really did a great job of swarming the football. And I tell you, Tom, the best thing part about our defense is we're kind of that bend but don't break mentality. And we're in the open field, we do such a great job, but really our best defense is in the red zone. We've held Johnson County to 2 field goals. We held Science Hill to 3 field goals. We held Daniel Boone to 2 field goals. That's really when it shows you got a great defense, when you can hold people to field goals.
There you go. And they win a big one, 21-7. Am I right in saying the last 2 years you shut out Daniel Boone? So this is the first year they've scored on you in 3 years. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Our kids love playing Daniel Boone, and I think this area loves the Elizabethton Daniel Boone game. And Coach Jenkins does a great job. They're going to be big and strong. And I tell you, Gabe Sanders is a really good football player. I mean, he makes so many plays and does so many things on the football field that you can't coach, that you can't teach. They inserted him at the corner and safety position against us when we didn't see any footage of him playing defense. But we really got off to a great start. We had a great drive going on the first drive, moved it down to football, kind of turned it over on downs. But our next series, Drew Bowers comes up with a great interception and really gets that night going. And that's a big senior for us, a 3-year starter at safety, and a big interception for us, and we were able to capitalize off that drive.
Big night, I would assume. Big crowd here again as well.
It was another great electric atmosphere. This was the performance we wanted to put into place, and it was a great atmosphere. It was a great night. We got off to a great start. We really played a really good team football game, and we minimized our mistakes. We did a good job running and passing it. We spread the football around, got a number of people involved. We really were so focused in the game. I mean, you could just see it. There's a different football team out there Friday. We preached about execution. We talked to two. I mean, anytime you get a 3A team, 5A team, the sense of urgency, we talked about, the Boone's line was massive. I mean, number 71, 72 were as big as linemen there is in East Tennessee, and our guys did a great job, and, they need to be applauded for the way that they worked this week.
With that victory, they're now 58-31. This man right here against the head coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll show the highlights. Again, a big night for Hunter Tyree. This guy was on fire. It was almost like a Tom Brady night. I don't know if you like Tom Brady or not, but he put up those kind of numbers. He had a heck of a night. It was one for the ages. We'll tell you all about that and show you some highlights right after you see this right here on the Shawn Witten Coaches Show.
Trucks, 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 and more trucks. At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, we have Silverado trucks everywhere with discounts up to $11,000 off MSRP on select Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. 15 Spark, $10,995. 15 Sonic, $12,995. 15 Track, $17,995. 15 Equinox, $20,995. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where they leave you asking, how do they do that?
Whether lying on the beach, just working in your yard, or watching NASCAR racing this weekend in Bristol, your skin needs protection from the harmful effects of the sun. Blue Lizard Sunscreen delivers broad-spectrum SPF 30-plus protection that comes with smart bottle technology. Our bottle changes colors in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. It's the brand most recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide, plus it's made right here in the Tri-Cities. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, we've got you covered. Welcome back to the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. Again, comes out every Wednesday at noon. Again, all you have to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com, and there it is. And, Coach, man, what a night. Before the break, we talked about Hunter Tyree. We saw him against Science Hill. We knew then he was going to be a heck of a quarterback. Obviously, he's gotten better each week. And, man, Friday night, 12 out of 13 or 12 for 13 for 188 yards and 3 TDs? I mean, that's Sunday afternoon numbers.
Well, it's impressive. And, each week we try to get him more involved in the game plan, try to get him started off where he gets in a rhythm. And I just think your confidence level and it's so much better, too, when you can spread the football around. You just don't key on one particular person. And, we try to do some good job during the course of the week, just really taking what the defense gives us, try to keep them off balance. Early in the first couple of games, we've just been rotating those running backs in and out. And then now we've been trying to spread the football around and just keep people from really keying on one person. I think what's best about this football team is the ability that it's not one person on offense stepping up and making plays. It's a number of guys. And the thing I like, too, is we're still trying to develop a lot of our offensive schemes. Our running backs are really good receivers, catching out the ball out of the backfield. Early in the preseason, we hit some screens. One of our touchdowns we throw to Jeremiah. He's a really good receiver out of the backfield. So we got a lot of ways to go and a lot of different ways we can spread the football around and try to score. But, it all starts with Hunter. You can do as much as you want to do as long as he can make the throws and understands the game plan. But, just excited to see the progress he's made as a guy's been in the system for 4 years. This is kind of his first year to be the man, and he's done a great job of, being the team leader.
Absolutely. Let's pick up this first highlight. Talk about spreading things around, Coach. You get started with a touchdown pass to Connor Johnson. Set this play up.
Well, we started out the game. We were throwing those fast screens. We were getting a little bit of soft coverage, trying to mix them up. But, it all goes out when you throw those screens. Receivers got to block for one another. We opened the game with one against Drew. We moved down the field, and then when we got in the red zone there, we had them bunched up in there, and we threw it out there. It was a great job by Drew Bowers on the block, and great job for Connor Johnson to break a tackle and really kind of keep his feet and get into the end zone.
I think the next play may have been the backbreaker of the football game. Anytime you score right before halftime, it just kind of takes the wind out of the other team's sails. And great clock management by Tyree and you and the coaching staff, and you punched one in right before the break and set this touchdown pass up.
Well, it's one of those plays we went back to several years ago. Jeremiah sneaking him out of the backfield, catching a kind of a wheel route. We did a hard sprint right, and Hunter made a really kind of thread-the-needle type throw. And it goes, Jeremiah's a really good receiver. He's got really good hands, and he catch the ball in the backfield. So that's a dimension number 7 brings to us. Our offense is kind of the versatility, and it was 6-0 for a long time, and we just kind of needed it. We were able to force a turnover, move the ball down the field, and we're able to capitalize and score right before half and give us some big momentum.
Huge play in the football game. Again, you're watching the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. Again, you can check this out every Wednesday at noon, a brand new show. We come here and tape with this Coach Witten, and again, it'll be at TomTaylorSports.com. Coach, he's 12 for 13, 188 yards, 3 TDs. We've got another highlight to show, but let's stop and let's pay tribute to the Hogs up front. You can't have that time to throw that ball unless you got the pass protection and your guys up front are giving it to him.
Well, that's an area we've been working on each week. We know we've been fortunate last couple of years to have some big offensive linemen. They blocked for Ethan Thomas for a number of years, but really we've had to develop some pass protection. And when you got a quarterback that's got a quick release and you got guys on the outside and the perimeter can make the plays, can you develop pass protection? And so our guys have really, that's been a key emphasis, and our line coach to really make that a huge part of our offense, and they've done a great job with it. Our running backs picking up pass protection, really been trying to work that play-action pass quite a bit, to be able to stick that ball out there and fake the run, and then, Hunter's quick release and, getting different guys, the chance to make some plays. But, play-action pass, as much as we run the football, and the guys that, anytime you stick that ball in their bellies, they got to honor it. So that's a key emphasis for us. And, it just goes back. And we're so fortunate and blessed to have those guys up front. I mean, you know, the success of our program in the last 5 years has been the guys up front. It's been Coach Pierce, Coach Holt, Coach Green. Those guys really stepping up, and you know, we got a freshman tight end. You know, we only got one returning offensive lineman and Mark Chester left guard. It really are really the key to our program has been those offensive linemen.
The Hogs.
Yes, sir.
Hogs up front. Last highlight was in the second half, and again, you go back to Johnson and Turner, and now this one. What a thing of beauty! And let's pick up this highlight on a great slant pass to Drew Bowers.
Well, we had to try to get a first down to really keep it going, to keep Boone from having a chance to get the ball back, and we kind of did play action pass and hit a backside slant to Drew, and he was able to break some tackles. Then we got a key block from Corey Russell from the other side, and you know, Drew just had a terrific night. He started the game off with the big interception, finished the game off with a big 73-yard touchdown run, and that's a big-time senior for us coming up with a big play.
We're talking to Coach Shawn Witten, the Shawn Witten Coaches Show, talking Cyclone football. So let's flip it over. You talked about Gabe Sanders at the outset of the shows. Let's talk about the defense. Played lights out for the Cyclones, held them to 96 yards passing, and really shut down their offense, which is, you know, people say, oh, they're 0 and they haven't won a game. That doesn't mean anything. They still have a good offense, and they've had some tough luck at Daniel Boone. So to shut that offense down, you've done quite a feat, and pay tribute to some of the kids that played well defensively.
Well, I think, too, you know, our kids really need to be applauded because Boone had 2 weeks to prepare for us. And, you know, anytime that you got a team that prepares for you for 2 weeks, you know, they came out and are going to make some changes, and they're ready to go. But they've got 3 losses to 3 good football teams. But it all starts up front. Our junior nose tackle, Johnny Ray Wilby, our 2 sophomore defensive end, Coleman and mine went blank on number 46, Joseph Collins, really did a great job. And I tell you, when you watch our games too, the guy that continues to get better is Preston Wyatt inside. They called his name out a bunch, you know, making tackles, staying inside. He was spying Sanders all night long. And, you know, we only had the ball 15 plays in the second half. I mean, they really did a good job coming out of halftime, you know, kind of established themselves. But, you know, we kind of got that bend but don't break mentality. And, you know, we play our best defense inside the red zone, and you know, just the number of guys really stepped up. Our secondary tackled really well. Bailey Gwynn continues to play well. Of course, Bowers got off to a great night, and Corey Russell, a little freshman corner, came in and played extremely well. So, number of guys. A sophomore outside linebacker Tyson Vance, number 23, had some key moments. And there's another wild card guy on defense, Alex Norwood, number 17. He's a basketball kid. He's long. He's athletic. He's kind of a hybrid outside linebacker, defensive end. Yeah, Coach Oggs got him moving around. His pass rush ability, his athleticism really was a difference in the fourth quarter, just disrupting Gabe, chasing Gabe. He really was a big contributor for us Friday night.
Big win, 21-7 over Daniel Boone. So before we go to the break, grade it 2 different ways. Where's your football team right now, A, B, C, or D? And how do you feel like you've competed against a pretty tough non-conference schedule?
Well, our non-conference games have been big for us, and they really tell you a lot about your football team. And, you know, I'm really proud of the way that we performed against the big schools. You know, really we've been able to focus. We've been able to dial in. We've really been to execute, you know, and you know it's going to be a 48-minute game, a 4-quarter game, going to come down to the last little bit. But really proud of the way that, you know, no turnovers. You know, we minimize the penalties. You know, our key as a coaching staff going forward is, you know, this team not really take us on a roller coaster ride. I mean, just being consistent. You know, good teams go out there and play regardless of who they're going against, and have that killer instinct. But, you know, I give us you know, an overall B. You know, I mean, we've got some things we still need to kind of get better at. But really from last week to this week, you know, a different football team that took the field, a different football team that walked off the field. And anytime you get a big win over Boone, that's a big confidence boost going forward. And, you know, for us, the games that matter the most are those conference games. And so we got a lot of confidence heading into this week. And I'm just so proud of the guys, the way that, you know, we didn't play real well. You know, we didn't execute. We didn't play together as a team, a little bit undisciplined in some ways. And just really proud of how we rebounded and how we worked.
Of course, coming up next will be a conference game, and in 2 weeks, one more non-conference game against the bigger school, Tennessee High, and so we'll see how they fare against the Vikings at the Stonecastle in a couple of weeks. But first, we'll take a break and come back and get ready. It's conference week. The Cyclones go up in the polls this week in 3A football in the state of Tennessee, deservedly so. We'll talk about that. And this week's opponent, Unicoi County, right after you see this on the Shawn Witten Coaches Show.
Trucks, 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 and more trucks! At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, we have Silverado trucks everywhere with discounts up to $11,000 off MSRP on select Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. 15 Spark, $10,995, 15 Sonic, $12,995, 15 Track, $17,995, 15 Equinox, $20,995. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where they leave you asking, how do they do that?
Whether lying on the beach, just working in your yard, or watching NASCAR racing this weekend in Bristol, your skin needs protection from the harmful effects of the sun. Blue Lizard Sunscreen delivers broad-spectrum SPF 30-plus protection that comes with smart bottle technology. Our bottle changes colors in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. It's the brand most recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide, plus it's made right here in the Tri-Cities. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, we've got you covered. And welcome back to the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. Again, new place to find us, TomTaylorSports.com. Very easy. We're out there every Wednesday at noon, thanks to our producer, you can't see behind the camera, but does a dynamite job, Robert Kell. Stays up late, puts in a lot of hours making these happen. And it's all about promoting the student-athlete here at Elizabethton High School. And, of course, Coach Witten takes his time when we come over here and invade his office to shoot this show. But, again, it's all about promoting his kids and about this program that is so rich and deep in tradition here at Elizabethton. Standings this week, Pigeon Forge, Chuckey Oak, Unicoi County, and Elizabethton all 1-0 in the conference. The Mountain 8 Conference is the name of the new conference, of course. Johnson County, Claiborne, Northview Academy, and West Green all 0-1. This week we're back to conference play. Chuckey Oak plays at Johnson County up on the mountain in Mountain City. I'd say maybe a little cool up there on Friday night in Mountain City. Pigeon Forge plays at West Green and Northview Academy at Claiborne. And, of course, the Cyclones head out to Irvin to battle Unicoi County. And, Coach, before we get into that, polls are out this week, deservedly so. You guys move up to number 6 in the state in 3A, and I know that excites the community. Helps a lot of talk and kind of puts everybody in a little extra spring in the step because you move up a notch and you're number 6 in the whole state of Tennessee, and that's pretty impressive.
It is, Tom, and I'll tell you, we've talked to our team this week, mostly yesterday, and just, how do you handle success, and that's what we got to do a better job of. Is we played well against Johnson City. We came back and didn't kind of had a good week of practice, but didn't kind of play real well. Then we had another great week of practice this week, and then played an unbelievable performance against Daniel Boone. So it's kind of how you handle success, and when you don't play well, you got to get back to work, and when you do play well, you got to approach it the same way. So we got a great bunch of kids. We're proud of the accomplishment. We know that. Every time we go somewhere and play, it's a marquee game, and we're going to get people's best efforts. And we tell people all the time, we watch Boone play, 2 games, and how much all the formations and plays that they run, and then they came out against us, and it was a totally different football team. So I think that's what we got to do going forward, and we don't really worry about the opponents we're playing. It's about us getting better and taking that mentality. And we know that the first 24 minutes of football, we're going to get a strong Blue Devil team, and they're going to really come out. And for a lot of people, this is their, we're the team to beat in the conference, and they're going to be chasing us as many conference championships that we have. So we've talked to our kids about handling success, going back to work, and we got a good bunch that's got a good head on their shoulders.
Let's talk about injuries. We haven't talked much about that so far this year. How are you injury-wise for the Cyclones?
Well, we've been fortunate. Scotty Oliver, our big fullback, our big bruising fullback, we held him out Friday night against Boone. We're probably going to hold him out again this week and just make sure he's 100%. And he's made a lot of progress. He's been practicing. Just want to make sure he's 100% before we turn him back loose. But, obviously what he's helped done for us for the first 2 games has been critical. And, I think, too, that every week, we've shown a different style of football we can play. The first 2 weeks, Scotty Oliver kind of led our offense, and then last week we went to a little bit of a spread attack and spreading the football around. So I like this football team, how each week a different person steps up, and we can go to a different area. And but we've been fortunate, Tom. We've only had one guy kind of get banged up and the rest are ready to go.
Rest are ready to go again on the trip to Unicoi County and battle the Blue Devils. 7:30 kickoff on Friday night. And so Elizabethton, these are the ones you got to have. Obviously, the non-conference games, they look good, they sound good, but to get down the road where you want to get, and that's get to that 3A championship, you got to win your conference games, and every one of them, home and away, are very critical, right?
Well, we remind our kids, if we want to be at home the first 2 weeks of November and make this place a home field advantage, and we don't have to get on that bus and travel 2 hours to a playoff game, and we got to take care of business. And this is the second year in a row we're going to Irwin. So we usually when we get off the bus we don't play extremely well. When we get over there, we kind of end up winning just because we end up being the better team. But I want to see really how our team attacks this game. Do we kind of play to our level? Do we kind of just get caught up? Hey, we're back playing a 3A team, or do we continue to reach new heights? And I think this team is, we got a lot of different things that we need to work on. But I like this bunch, Tom. I really do. I think that we got some toughness. We're resilient, and we're playing together as a team, which is critical for us. And I think that no one person is really getting a lot of the publicity and the attention. It's the team, And when they talk about this team, they're talking about the team, the way that we're playing together. And I'm proud of our coaches, the way that we've Coach Ogg's done a great job with our defense. Coach Pearson mentioned before, leading our line, and just exciting time to be a part of Elizabethton Cyclones.
When you have a football team as a we team instead of a me team, you always go a lot farther, don't you?
Well, you do, when guys don't care, they're blocking for one another, receivers are, and, running backs are doing their job, running the ball and picking up the blitz, and it's a number of guys on defense. I mean, everybody's got room for improvement. This is week 4, so game number 4 for us. So we still got a lot of ways to get better, and we want to be that good football team at the end. And this is another step for us. But another great opportunity for us to get out on the field to show what we're capable of doing, and just excited to be a part of these guys. I mean, they really Friday night was a great time at Citizens Bank Stadium. It was a great time to watch our football team play, and to see the work that these guys put in and see how it paid off is exciting as a coach.
On a personal note, before we get done here for the Shawn Witten Coaches Show, guy by the name of Jason Witten, 8 catches, 60 yards, game-winning touchdown catch against the Giants, and it's not just Elizabeth. I know he's your brother, but we all across the Tri-Cities, I'll be very proud of this gentleman. And of course, Jeff Birchfield had a great article this week in the Johnson City Press about not just Jason Witten as a football player, but Jason Witten as a humanitarian. And that's the kind of things kids ought to be able to read and see and look up and say, hey, we want to be like this guy, because he's a great role model. He's a great humanitarian, and he happens to be your brother.
Well, he is, and he's the ultimate professional. He uses his platform to really kind of do a lot of things, and what he does for this community, the kids he's touched. It's not about the dollar; it's about the time and the investment that he can. And we've all been in that point of our lives where we all have somebody we look up to, and that's more than a price tag. And I think that when kids around here or kids across the country have somebody they can look up to and want to be, that gives them hope and it gives them a future.
There you go. Give me some taters. Go Cyclones. I like this guy. He's class. We'll have another show for you next week. Again, they play Unicoi County this Friday night again at 7:30. Again, that'll be happening at Unicoi County. Of course, this show will be ready to go Wednesday at noon, and every Wednesday at noon we have a new show. All you have to do now, brand new location, simply go to TomTaylorSports.com, and there it is. So for Robert Kell, head coach Shawn Witten, this is Tom Taylor, the host of the Shawn Witten Coaches Show, reminding you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. We'll see you next week, and thanks for watching the Shawn Witten Coaches Show. So long, everybody.